Have you ever had mornings where you're lying in bed, minding your own business, and within minutes, before you've even sat up, a thought comes, and then another, and before you know it, your life's a complete mess. There's doom and gloom, total depression and despair, and you haven't even got out of bed yet. Is that you? If so, keep listening and find out what I do that has really, really helped me. This is the Voice of Experience podcast with Roisin Collins. For me, this can start with a single thought, something like really small, like, oh, I didn't drink enough water yesterday. And within minutes, it can turn into a full-blown Shakespearean soliloquy, catastrophe extraordinaire, and all in the privacy of my own mind, before the day has even begun. And how quickly this can happen. And I've noticed how tightly I can grip onto these thoughts, how invested I can become in them. I'm not dismissing real emotional experience. Human feelings and emotions can be painful and valid. They can point to things. They can point to wounds, history, unmet needs, things that we need to look at. But the problem is that, for me anyway, is when I start indulging in them. When I pick them up and start spinning them like a wheel, adding layers and meaning and commentary and narrative. And before I know it, I've built an entire world in my own head, which may not actually be grounded in reality at all. This is definitely insanity. And it can be just created in minutes. So let me give you an example and the powerful thing that happened to me the other day. So I was in one of my meltdowns, complete overwhelm. And it was the story of, oh, I don't know what my next steps are. I don't know if I want to stay in Bali. I can't find a new place to live. I just don't know what I'm doing in life. I don't even know if I'm on the right path. And it just went on and on and on, spinning around. One question became 10, then 20. Then all of a sudden, I was mentally living in 5 different futures at once. None of them were grounded in the moment I was actually in. And then in the middle of all this, there was this quiet voice. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't emotional. It wasn't panicked. It didn't judge. It simply said, Roisin, you need to tidy and organize that cupboard. And then after that, you need to go out and get some food. Honestly, I just laughed because I just found it absolutely ridiculous. Are you kidding me? Here I am in a total meltdown, having an existential crisis in self-pity, and this small, calm voice is telling me to clean a cupboard. But there was something in the tone of it, steady, certain, no judgment, gentle. I felt validated that the voices and thoughts could still be there. They could be felt, they could be acknowledged. But right now, there was also something practical to do. Do the thing that is in front of you. So I did it. I organized the cupboard. And when I finished, there was a very slight shift in me. Just like a really small bit of stability. I just noticed. And then the same quiet voice said again, now go and get some food. And again, everything in me resisted that. The emotional voice was saying, no, I'm too tired. I'm overwhelmed. I need to lie down. I need to eat. I need to escape. I can't, not today. a very, very familiar pattern. But this inner voice, this deeper guidance, this quiet knowing, whatever you want to call it didn't argue, it didn't explain, it didn't soothe. So it's not because I didn't necessarily want to do it, but because the tone, something in that tone of that voice was so simple, so grounded, so matter of fact, that it almost bypassed my emotional chaos. And after I finished, I noticed something. There was again this really small shift of peace and stability, a little more space in my mind. And the strangest thing after that, after I did the practical things, I really did feel empowered and grounded, because I think probably for the first time I overrode the voices in my head, and it felt really powerful. So why do we do this? Why do we get so completely invested in our thoughts? Why do we believe them so quickly and rapidly, as though they're absolute truth? I mean, there's a difference between feeling and thinking something on a practical level. Um, you know, something that we need to do, something that we need to fix, preparing food, these practical things of life. And then on the other hand, there's building an entire universe around the feeling as if it was a fact. So the problem for me is not the emotion, the thought, the sensation, it's the indulgence, the looping, the spinning, the adding of more and more story, the giving it meaning and prediction and projection. It's the broken record. And once that record starts playing, it plays every track at once. It becomes so overwhelming and confusing and sometimes quite frightening. And for me, it just happens in minutes. But this time, for the first time, I actually listened. I didn't analyze it. I didn't interpret. I didn't judge. I didn't negotiate. I didn't fight with it. I just followed it. And here's another thing. When I came home after simply getting food and doing that one cupboard, my entire state of being had changed. Just enough for me to remember to come back to myself, not to fix my whole life, not to have clarity, not to solve every unknown thing, just enough to come back into my body, back into presence, back into my life right now. And that's when something clicked in me. Overriding the voices in our head is not about silencing the mind. It's about choosing which voice to follow. You know, there are many voices inside of us: the anxious one, the fearful one, the catastrophizing one, the voice of past trauma, the voice that believes it has to control everything to feel safe. But there is also another voice, that quiet one, the steady one, the voice that says very simply, do the thing in front of you, just the next thing, nothing more. And that voice rarely shouts, it whispers, it waits, it doesn't force. It says something like, drink some water, stand up, open the door, put your shoes on, do one small practical thing. And every time I follow that quieter voice, and it's just a very new thing for me, even just a little, it strengthens my resolve to do it again and again and again. And this is how I override the noise in my head and the voices in my head. Not by fighting our thoughts, not by arguing with them, not by trying to think our way out of them, but by taking one grounded, simple, physical action in the present moment, right here, right now. So if your mind is spiraling, if your thoughts are running wild, if you're overwhelmed, your world is spinning, pause, pause, pause. Not to solve it, not to fix it, just to ask, what is the next practical thing I need to do? The next gentle step, the next grounded action. Might be washing a dish. It might be stepping out for some air. It might be tidying a cupboard. It might be eating something nourishing. It might be drinking something. It might be just resting. It might be just breathing. Not collapsing into avoidance. Just the next thing. It's always simple. We don't have to solve our whole lives right in this moment. We just need to do the right next thing. And the next thing leads to the next thing. And that is how we come home to ourselves again. One step, one small step, one grounded act. So I just leave you with just a little 1-minute meditation, just using the breath. So taking a moment to settle wherever you are. If you are able to close your eyes, then do so. But if not, just relax the body, relax the mind. Find yourself into a comfortable position. It could be sitting or could be lying down. Let your hands rest softly. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw loosen. Let your shoulders drop even more. Allow your eyes to close. Or if you cannot do that, just soften your gaze. Now, take a slow, deep breath in through the nose. Hold it and exhale gently through the mouth, making it a bit longer on the exhale. And doing that 2 more times, taking a breath in through the nose, hold it, and exhale gently through the mouth. And do that 1 more time, breathing in through the nose, hold, and exhale deeper. And relax. Notice the sensations in your body. Notice the air moving in and out of your lungs. The simple fact that you are here, you're alive, you're breathing, you're present. And I would challenge you, just once in the day, only once, when you notice your mind beginning to spiral or build a story, pause. Recognize that moment. Breathe if you need to. Relax mind and body completely. And instead of following the thought, override it with a single, simple, practical action. Not a big life decision, not solving anything, just the next grounded step. It could be anything. And I challenge you also to do something that the mind says doing the opposite of. So if it says, oh, I need to rest the body, I need to go and eat that chocolate cake, I need to do something completely different. Something, I would say, out of character. something I did the other day was, I think I was in some kind of spiral, took my shoes and socks off, and I went and stood on the wet grass. And it was totally something out of character. But the mind, as you notice, what happens to the thoughts? Do they get louder, more dramatic, more urgent? That's okay. The mind is used to having its own way with all its patterns. Keep doing the practical action anyway. That's the practice. Then do it again the next day and the next, and build that muscle. I truly would love to hear what happens. If you put it in the chat, if you, write a comment. I would love to know your experience and sharing it. And it will certainly help someone else. So until the next time we meet, this is Roisin Collins, the Voice of Experience podcast.